Hi everyone and welcome to day 4. This is Advance of REST and we're building together a REST API in REST. So today we are going to talk about the result type. So let's dive into the code. Before diving into the result type, I just want to go back to our pizza object to this constructor function. In REST, you may want to remove this return at the end because the last instruction on a function is actually implicitly returning the item. So you don't need to do return pizza. If you just write pizza, this will return the pizza. And here we have two instructions. So we can either simplify a bit more. If you remove this, it will actually return the pizza right away because there is only one instruction. So it's also the last one of the function. So by doing this, it's a bit more clear. You don't need a return. You're returning the pizza right away. So let's go back to our main topic today, which is the result type. So let me comment that. And since we're going to build a REST API, one cool feature would be to expose the port that we are going to run our API on by reading an environment variable, for instance. So let's do that. We can do std var port. So this is a function provided by the REST standard library. And we can specify the full path of a function, or we can import it. So we can import std and remove this part. Because now we're importing end, so we can use end right away. It's really up to you. Both are valid. And if we have a look at ports, if we have a look at the results of this, it's going to be, let me print it, for instance. I will print the debug version. And if we have a look at ports, it's going to be a result. And almost everything in REST will be returned in the format of a result type. So result is an enum, and it can take two different values. Either a string, let's say we found the environment variable, so we can retrieve the string, or if the environment variable does not exist, it will return an error. So if we print it, we can run this with cargo run. And obviously, I don't have any environment variable set, so this is an error. But if I say port 1, 2, 3, cargo run, this time it will turn OK 1, 2, 3, 4. So a cool way to access the value directly is to print the value ports.unwrap. And if we print it, let's run it again. So port is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. But if we do not set the port environment variable, now we panic. So panicking in REST is a very bad behavior. It means that you have an issue at runtime. And REST is really good to prevent that. So let's avoid to use Unwrap. Unwrap is really unsafe. It means that we didn't check before whether or not the environment variable was set, and we assume that this is set. And this is definitely not a good option. So what we can do instead is we can match. So match will check for every possible enum value of this port environment variable. So if we match ports, there is two different options. Either it's OK, and we have a number, or it's an error. So let's have a look. If it's OK, we can print the number. Number is number. And if we have an error, we can print the error like this. So if we run it without any environment variable set, now we print the error. But if I have my port set, the number is good. So that's very convenient, because now maybe what we want to do is to return a default port if no port has been set. So what we can do is we can say let real port. If it's okay, I return the number directly. And if it's not okay, we can define maybe a default port, which is, I don't know, 8000, for instance. And I can print the real port now. Let's run it. So if I specify 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, I need to save. If I specify 1, 2, 3, 4, the real port is 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I don't specify anything, it's going to be 8000. So that's great. Maybe we want to extract that as a function. So we can take this and we can say function get port. It's going to be returning string. The port is reading the environment variable. We remove the print statement, and we can either do this. So remember, the final line is actually a return, or we can simplify by removing this, because both of the enum type will return a number, a string representation of the number, so the port or the default value. So let's have a look. Real port is get real port. Get port, actually. And I can rerun this. So if I don't specify any port, 8000. If I specify 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, in Rust, the result type is really common. So almost every standard library function will return either an error or a value. And this is great to perform error handling. So that's it for today. Congratulations, you know now how the result type is working. And see you tomorrow for day 5. So have a good day.